Check 1 2 1 2. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the second live stream of the day. So we're going to cover some of the major breaking news that has happened over the past 6 hours, past 6, 7, 8 hours of the day. We had some major breaking news with a crypto hack that I'm going to try to explain. We're going to navigate kind of what you guys need to do and how to stay safe. Basically, we had a major blockchain hack that has something to do with these JavaScript applications that kind of gets installed into your computer whenever you connect into, say, an application. You've connected your wallet to something, then it saves these authorizations, and then what it can do is basically change out the recipient address without you knowing it when you connect back into some of these places where you've connected possibly before. So what we need to do is make sure you're not connecting to anything probably right now, or maybe for the next couple days. Maybe clear out some of the websites that you've visited before. So the way that you can do that, you can actually go into your wallet, and anything that you have that is connected or currently connected to your wallet, you can disable it and disconnect that contract. So you just make sure, basically it's like you're still signed into a contract with some of your wallets, like either MetaMask or Phantom, whatever it may be. So make sure you exit out of all those. And just don't do any, make sure any of the transactions that you're doing today or for the next couple days, or just in general, you probably should just be doing this anyway. So this is probably just like a nice reminder to make sure you're checking all of your addresses and you're checking that final confirmation, because before you send any transactions, obviously you have to confirm the transaction, and you want to just, don't confirm it so quick without making sure that something doesn't look fishy, or if you're getting some warnings on the screen. So that is really important to do, especially today. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button coming in today. Hope you're doing well. And let's get into some of this news here. So, real quick, if I can find it. All right. So, here's the crypto hack. So, the crypto hack explained for dummies: a line of code everyone imports into their wallets and dApps when making them has been compromised. It's this NPM. And this has been compromised, so that can switch a recipient on any transaction. So here's the even dumber version. Think of an NPM like a giant toy store for Lego blocks. Programmers all over the world go there to grab Lego pieces, code packages to build their apps and websites. Now imagine a sneaky thief breaks into the toy store and secretly replaces some of the Lego blocks with ones that look the same on the outside, but have the tiny little hidden message that ends up potentially, shifting the recipient address. So this is not good, So what happens here is the hacker got into the trusted toy maker's account. They slipped in bad blocks, malicious code that secretly can steal the money. But then apparently this hasn't been very successful, because Arkham has tracked this, and Arkham is tracking the wallet as the NPM attack, unverified custom entity, and they've only been able to steal about $66. So compared to the other extraction points that have happened, like for instance, like North Korea's I can't remember the name of the big one. The North Korean is the biggest one, and it's this group. It's called the something group, the Lazarus group. Yeah, I think it's called the Lazarus group. And it's a North Korean major like hacking, what you call it, like a hacking firm. And they were actually responsible for one of the biggest hacks that we experienced actually last year, which was the OURBIT Ethereum hack. And so that ended up being one of those situations where that was a major one, and that happened fast. That one was very sneaky because it was this malicious signer where they actually signed off on a transaction that looked legitimate, and because that was in this goes to show that with major transactions, even like that, are just slipped by really fast and sometimes can be overlooked. And imagine overlooking billions of dollars of ETH. So I don't know if you guys remember that, but so maybe because this was such a big, warning, large scale crypto hack warning, that this, funny enough, made it to where finally the Jeets could stop selling. So now finally, for the first time ever, the crypto goldfishes that have, the slipperiest of fingers with their bags could not finally sell. They finally were unable to make the Jeet transactions on Solana. So I wonder if the Solana blockchain kind of in the trenches took a halt. But what's going on, everyone? We got Serg in the house. Serg is in the chat saying, what's going on? Was just watching your other video. Great info. Says this is definitely a shakeout. Yeah, $66. I know. Yeah. So we'll see. We could probably track this wallet as well if we wanted to go to the Arkham NPM. So we could go to Arkham and type in NPM attack, and I don't know if we'd be able to find anything in particular right now. I don't see it. I'm probably not searching for it correctly, but yeah, so that's kind of that's some of the breaking news as of today. But yeah, I think it's just I think it's just another one of those things. It's another one of those things to fear, FUD, crypto shakeout. But it also is a good reminder that you probably should be very diligent in the things that you are clicking. You really don't want to be clicking on a bunch of links that people are sending you. You always want to probably have a VPN on and not just click on everything that is sent to you. That should just be rule number one on the internet. You should never just immediately trust in every link that's sent to you, vet all the stuff, especially if you're going to be going on meetings and clicking into things. Like, don't download a client that or like a meeting client. Don't use someone's custom meeting code or whatever, or if it's a Zoom thing, make sure that it's not trying to give access to your screen, because then that's what's been happening. Also, people are giving access to their screens and through Zoom. So there's all kinds of ways that you can get completely smashed, and you don't want to get drained also because you think the confirmation, transaction that you're clicking is for your swap, but you just enabled your entire wallet to get drained because of some ridiculous, link or fake DeFi thing. Sami actually recently, shout out to Sami. He was explaining how one of his, people in his community, they basically got fully drained from one of these particular scams where it was like it was a fake Liberty swap. Yeah, that's what it was. It was a fake Liberty swap, and the spelling was wrong. So I always used to get so freaked out about that I would double, triple, quadruple, 7, 10 times check the link and make sure I'm going to CoinMarketCap and even though I know the link by heart, it'd be uniswap.finance. I'm like, okay, I know that. Of course. Yes, of course. But what if I spelled it wrong? So I'm going to go and freaking copy it from the damn CoinMarketCap website and make sure it's exactly what it is, or try to make sure I'm going to the actual official website. I remember that used to freak me out. I still do it to this day just to double check myself. Or even the thing that So we'll get to the Liberty Swap fake website. It was spelled different. It was like Librady or something like that. And so he thought he was swapping for, whatever he was trying to get, and it ended up completely draining his PDI. I think it was probably like his biggest holding in there was probably like PDI. Yeah, so it's not good. It sucks. So you have to check the spelling. Very important. Check the spelling. But guys, make sure you're hitting that like button, because we don't normally stream at this time. So it's probably very unexpected. But if we're pumping through the airwaves, through the YouTube airwaves right now, then it would be cool if we get a few likes. We'd really appreciate it. And if you're new too, we really hope you come back to another live stream. Normally, we're standing and we have a lot more energy and we're yelling at the camera. That's at the 11 a.m. That's more of the high energy, like prime time live stream. This one we can't, be yelling right now. It's 9:30. So we're going to keep it chill. We're going to sip our decaf coffee. We're going to continue to go through some of X posts. We got some bookmarks we want to check on, but we're going to check the prices. We're going to check on the rest of the news that we'd like to go through. Let's see here. I don't know what happened to our bookmarks. There they are. All right, I showed this earlier today. Said some of you are so focused on the cheese that you forget about the trap. That is sometimes a lot of crypto, is that you could be so focused on trying to catch that, whatever it is, the 100x of the runner, trying to catch the gains, and you're not realizing that you might be getting set up in the trap. So we have to be vigilant. All right. This is the other news that we saw today. This is pretty cool. We're bullish Nakamoto Games. We're bullish crypto gaming. I think it's going to be one of those narratives that a lot of people could be sidelined on. I feel like a lot of people could be sidelined on crypto gaming for a lot of reasons. They're underestimating it. I think if anything, I think people have always underestimated the gaming ecosystem as a whole in just not just crypto, but just gaming. I know it's not. I would say maybe we've been through a lot of cycles of resurgence. A lot of it has to do with nostalgic aspects of certain generations. So that kind of gets you back into buying, old games or just getting back into gaming. Maybe you're testing out some of the new games. But either way, it's still a big driver in entertainment and what people buy. People still buy some type of unit. There's always been something in the household. Switch has dominated. Nintendo's always dominated and has had some type of piece of tech in households. So I just think about like with crypto, it's like the perfect test market for testing out super fast transactions, in-game ownership of items, the whole NFT aspect, Counter-Strike, with the skins and stuff like that. That was kind of like our first experience probably into that and looking into what that could look like. People capitalizing on having certain things that are sought after and have their own intrinsic value inside of whatever the ecosystem it is. So like the Counter-Strike skins, and then you have the stuff like the different Fortnite things, whatever it may be, and then you got the Roblox. But go even deeper, and you have something like Nakamoto Games where they're just building a lot of stuff in-house. They are trying to tap into getting people to play multiplayer, join in. They have this new thing called Playroom, which is it's called Playroom, where you can create custom rooms. It's free to play or the play to earn, and you can have up to 2 to 8 players. And it's just kind of like just like a guild room chats. I haven't tested it out, but I was thinking we could maybe test it out for a little bit tonight if I can get it running, because I haven't used it yet. So we'll have to and honestly, I'd have to then make a crypto transaction. So I don't know if I want to make a crypto transaction tonight and get my whole wallet drained because I wanted to test out Nakamoto Games. I don't know if would that be worth it? Because then I would just be breaking my own rule that I just explained at the beginning of the live stream. Probably don't make any transactions for the next few days. But yeah, so whenever we feel comfortable making a transaction, then we'll have to test this out, or we could just test it out with the wallet that doesn't have any money in it. Let's see if we can do that. We might be able to do that. Yeah, I think we could. Yeah, I think we can. All right, so yeah, we probably still could test this out. We're just going to connect it with maybe like a different wallet, maybe connect it with like our Brave wallet or something like that. So I think we have connected to Nakamoto Games with our Polygon wallet. So, all right, so let's keep going down the bookmarks. So this is this is funny. Yo, Jason Crypto, we got Jason Beats in the house. All right, so math teacher says, suppose you have 5 friends and the people who hold XRP have to sit there for So it's a low blow, a little low hit. I know Litecoin's always trying to jab at people, but Litecoin can't talk, But if you do look at the charts, though, if you do look at the Litecoin chart, though, we will give it to Litecoin that at least from the time of its existence, it's been able to have 2 altcoin runs. So we'll give Litecoin that. We'll give Litecoin its run. We've actually used Litecoin as the oscillator of if Litecoin's over $250, then there's probably a good chance whatever your alts you're holding are probably up a good bit as well. So we're using Litecoin actually this cycle as our take profit indicator, or at least to be DCAing out, thinking okay, if freaking Litecoin's at 250. Then the market's probably jamming. Bitcoin's at 200K, Michael Saylor, Tom Lee, popping champagne bottles. You can hear the laughs from thousands of miles away across the world. Wojak is always in the fields. Wojak is always in the fields. I think we're all Wojak. That's why I like Wojak as an actual meme. Not like a meme coin, but just the meme itself. Wojak is the epitome of the retail mind. The person that works the bar, the late night bar shift. The late night drive-through manager at McDonald's, the person who works the double shift serving tables, someone who worked as the shift lead at whatever business they were working at, and now they got promoted to the manager, and now they have to work 72 hours a week. That is Wojak. But the general manager's name is Karen, Lisa, Jessica, Rachel. But you have to answer to her, though. It never ends. We're all Wojak. We're all Wojak. But yeah, the meme is good. I think if anything, this meme for retail should. I'm very surprised that the coin itself, the ETH. Now I'm talking about the ETH coin, the ETH coin, and we've given the lore of these particular coins too, and the connection of why you want to go down this rabbit hole of when coins were created and the timeline of when they came out, and how it can connect you into the possible wallet holdings that you could justify why you would be wanting to hold these particular things. Now, this is my own thesis. This is not financial advice, of course. This is just my observations of how I like to view Ethereum meme coins. So we had Pepe was released 2 years, 4 months ago. 25 days. Okay. That signaled out of the NFT bear market that we were ready to go. Meme coins were now great again. And out of the Shiba Inu craze and the Dogecoin craze and coming out of 2021 and going into 2022, and then we had the NFTs kind of peaking out at certain points during those times. I mean, freaking Ethereum gas fees were at like $150 because of the freaking NFTs. And then this basically Pepe signaled the run signaled for these certain coins to start being created. And then the next that followed was actually Ticker Bitcoin. Ticker Bitcoin was created literally like a month later, maybe even just a few weeks later. I don't know why it's not put in this list with the liquidity. It does that sometimes. It'll be right here and then it won't. Oh yeah, we can just click on it because we have it right here. So the contract here, 2 years, 3 months, 28 days. So it was just literally just a few weeks later. And then that spurred the creation of things like MOG, 2 years, 1 month later. Wojak. Wojak, we'll show you, 2 years, 4 months. Now this is what's fascinating. This I've pointed this out a few times, not a few times, many times. I feel like I might be a little obsessed with it because I just feel like we don't realize how early we are with some of these with just the crypto markets in general, but just being able to buy some of these crypto assets, whether it be the memes or whether it be the altcoins, and just knowing that in general we're really early. But what I like about this particular thought process is when Pepe was created, Wojak was created shortly after. And if you want to go into kind of the lore, is that these are all based off of a lot of it off of 4chan memes. And it's like all of them are it's like it's all going back to the roots of like culture on the internet. And what was the funniest. And now it's being represented on chain by these tokens. And so when I start to go into some of these wallets, and we did this, a few times on the live streams, where we went through some of these wallets, and we did some on-chain investigations, just with the couple, we kind of just picked out some that looked like they were buying a lot of stuff. And I noticed these two particular wallets were holding very similar things. Like they had a Pooh, Harry Potter Obama Sonic Tininu, of course, Wojak. They had some Kekius, NPC, which is the non-playable character Wojak. The Wojak's the feels guy. NPC doesn't feel anything. They're just no nothing, no soul. And then they had some Tau in here. BitTensor. And then this wallet had a pretty decent balance in the hundreds of thousands, but they had a big balance of Egen and Pepe. So they just have straight Pepe. The other one had a little bit more Pepe derivs happening, but this one I think upped the balance of their ticker Bitcoin. They've been DCAing, and you can see this balance increased. They're also increasing their balance of Wojak and Apu, but you can see kind of the trend here. Apu, Wojak, ticker Bitcoin, Pepe. It's like all those people that hold those coins, they're all holding the same coins, which is great, because then that is kind of like, it's like we can rally behind these OG original ETH meme coins. Some of these being a little bit newer. But I'm liking this. I'm liking the idea of this. Some of it might be a little bit, not only just a bit of a percentage is bag bias. We all have bag bias. We all it's just like Tom Lee and Michael Saylor. Of course they have bag bias. They hold a lot of it, but they also are pointing out the fundamental facts of why they're buying it to begin with. And so that's kind of the same thing that I'm doing. I'm like, here, like, this is why I'm giving you the fundamentals of why I'm actually even interested in some of these meme coins to begin with. And it's just because I think the what they've been able to do when ETH was just kind of trading like trash, and now we have a little bit more hope for ETH. I think the whole market kind of does. So what could those coins do and look like when we have the similar euphoric sentiment in terms of price action that we did in the last cycle in terms of altcoin season? What could we do? Some serious multiples. It's possible. Well, I hope you guys are doing well. We're just hanging. We're just chilling. Let's see how many people are watching. Let's see how many people are watching. Nice. We got 28 people on X. Say hello. Your message will come up on the screen. Okay. Some of the news, some other breaking news, was that Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy was not added into the S&P 500. It was like up for the vote to be added into the S&P 500. But they ended up adding Robinhood and someone else instead. So who was recently added? It was Robinhood and... Oh, okay. So Robinhood, AppLovin Corporation, Informative Technology Sector, MCore Group, EME Industrial Sector. Okay, and then the big question is, in the S&P 500, I wonder how many are actually profitable. How many of the 500 companies are actually profitable? To determine how many of the 500 companies in the S&P are profitable as of September, we need to consider the index's inclusion criteria and available data. Oh my gosh. Based on the inclusion criteria and the lack of specific data included below, it's reasonable to estimate that the vast majority, likely over 95%, are profitable in any given quarter, as the index is designed to include financial stable firms. Okay, so what are the top 10 most profitable ones in the S&P 500? All right, so as of now, in the S&P 500, the most profitable ones is Google. We have Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Meta Platforms, Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan, ExxonMobil, and Bank of America. Just think about it. And probably, I would say, I mean, it could even happen this year. This might be the play here, guys. We end up getting, all these interest rate cuts. We get the full inclusion and passing of the Genius and the Clarity Act, if they haven't already fully passed. I don't know what steps they are in. We get the Bitcoin. We get any of the Bitcoin bills actually passed and go through Congress. And then we get the state, each state kind of possibly approving, the treasury bills. For Bitcoin, buying, being able to buy Bitcoin on the balance sheet, with the states. All of this coming down the line, and then we have the Fed signaling hey, with the banks can hold, you can do whatever you want with crypto. Essentially, that's what they're saying now. The Feds are saying to the banks, you can basically kind of do whatever you want now with crypto. They're not saying it in that type of way, but they have already multiple times, and Federal Chairman Jerome Powell, he has said this. So what you're going to see is companies like Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, they're going to custodian crypto. They're going to have it to where you are going to have a wallet, a digital wallet, and you are going to be able to hold stable coins in it, and probably Bitcoin, and who knows what else. And all of these banks are going to have that access. And then now, if you remember, we had the big announcement of Kronos chain being a major implementation of a blockchain that is going to be used with Truth Social and Truth Social Plus. So pretty much in the next year or two, all of these different services like Meta, like Facebook and Apple and Microsoft and Google, they're all already using blockchain and they're investing in it. But then they are going to basically have we're going to be doing the digital signage. It's going to be like you will be able to do digital signage. And everything's going to be like this. So we just need to continue to stay here, be here, and be invested in this, because we're invested in the whole cryptocurrency market as a whole, representing these specific narratives. Then you are here for the major long term. You are going to experience price swings. It is going to be volatile, but you need to be able to ride the waves of volatility. Because if you can hodl long enough, which the Bitcoin maxis and anyone that's gotten into crypto early on in the early days with ETH and even XRP, I'll give it to you. You've been able to make insane gains if you were just able to be patient and really do nothing besides buy. If you just did nothing besides buy, your dollar cost average, if you knew about crypto for the past, every cycle, which is it's rare, there's not very many people that are from the first cycles You know, it was a very small group. You know, most people that are in crypto now came in 2021 after COVID. Me being one of those people. You know, that definitely pushed a lot of people to start really then now paying attention to Bitcoin. Maybe they heard about Bitcoin in 2011, 2012. Maybe they saw, you know, on Andreas Antonopoulos on Joe Rogan talking about Bitcoin, and we were like, yeah, whatever. And we went to back going to play in Skyrim, or you know, or whatever game was huge at the time. You know, I remember it was like we were all running around killing dragons in Skyrim, playing Call of Duty instead of mining Bitcoin and trying to retire our entire future bloodline and kids. That was probably the reality for a lot of people. So that's how you have to think about it. It's like, if Bitcoin's proven that it can go from under $1 to hundreds of thousands of dollars per coin, then in the next 10 years, why is it so far-fetched to think that it would be worth millions of dollars per coin in the next 10 years? Especially with the supply and demand of it. So it makes full sense, you know? Oh my gosh, look at these scammy messages. These messages are funny, dude. Okay, listen. Hi, I just recently found your channel and can already tell that your content is great, and I would love to stick with you long term. If you're open to it, I'd be willing to connect with you on Discord. My Discord username is scammer.scamscam55. Ridiculous. Yo, we got the Sprotos in the house. So the Sprotos are some of them are looking cheap. Some of them pop up. This is Hair Lip Steve. I don't know if you've ever saw Hair Lip Steve. Doesn't have a This guy is just ripped. This guy is gone. He's been gone. He never came back. This guy saw something he can never unsee. This one's like, This guy's cool though. I like the green. Any of the Sprotos that have the green on them. And if you don't know what the Sprotos are, this is one of the more, I would say kind of like, if the crypto punks were like almost like Andy Warhol style pop art, you know, kind of like 80s, 90s kind of feel, comic book character, zine kind of feel. This is what the Sprotos are. And what they end up doing to people who buy the Sprotos, and it's just like the punks. It's like the Bored Apes. You know, people get attached to their identity with the Sprotos and stuff like that. There's some that, you know, probably just will never be sold because people have attached their literal identity to them in like their profile picture. You know, like they like, for instance, like, let's see. Like, for instance, GB here. He's probably not gonna sell that. He's probably not gonna sell that. These Sprotos are not going. They're gonna probably sell their spare Sproto, but they're not going to sell the one that they have as their profile picture. It's who they've become. But the beauty of that, for instance, like this person, they buy a bunch of NFTs, but they own one of the Sprotos that I actually want. I wonder if they would just sell it to me for like a cheaper price than what they have it listed here. I'd have to just contact them. I have to send them a message over the blockchain. Should just send them some ticker Bitcoin with the message like, please, just encode into the message. Please, it's so cold out here. But he has two of them. So the point I'm trying to make is that he probably likes this one. Probably likes this one more than this one. Who knows? But yeah, my advice is if you are going to buy some NFTs, mint a couple. You know, you probably are going to want to mint a couple because there's a chance that you're going to get attached to one. And you're probably not going to pull the trigger on someone offering you a bunch of money for it. And so if you have two extra, then there's a potential that someone will offer you a bunch of money for one of those, and you'll just be like, I'm like a blah, 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 and you'll be like, blah, 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 okay, folks, and you'll sell it. Doge went up because there was a big investment from, someone bought a bunch of Doge. So Dogecoin went up because someone bought a bunch of Doge. It was a big, it was something, House of Doge, Dogecoin Foundation, Dogecoin Treasury, the commercial arm of Dogecoin Foundation, House of Doge, the Dogecoin Foundation, and Clean Core Solutions launch 175 million Dogecoin Treasury. So this is what that was. Oh, I like that. 107. What? That's so random. Look at this. That's so random. To establish the official Dogecoin treasury through 175 420. 175 420. You know they're clowning. They're clowning. I love it. Okay. So House of Doge will serve to support and advise the Treasury alongside 21 Shares, the world's largest crypto ETP issuer with more than 12 billion in assets under management and a track record of creating secure, regulated, and institutional-focused cryptocurrency investment products. Is 21 Shares is that the Jack Mallers company? Because this is called 21. Is it 21 Shares? I think so. Yeah. House of Doge and 21 Shares will oversee strategic allocation, yield opportunities, and corporate governance of the official Dogecoin treasury, ensuring transparency and routine reporting in line with institutional standards. Okay. Let's see. To establish a treasury through the partnership, Clean Core has entered the securities purchase agreement for a private investment in the public equity. For the offer sale, pre-funded warrants at price of $1 per pre-funded warrant of expected blah, 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 blah. Interesting. Okay, so group over 80 marquee institutional and crypto native investors, including but not limited to Pantera, GCR, FalconX, Borderless, Mythos. I want to see if these people got us up. Mythos. Mythos. Okay. There's no Mythos stock. Okay. Well, what's going on, everyone? Yeah, we got Trade Intuition in the house. We figured we go live. But yeah, so we haven't even really looked at the charts very much on the stream. We just went kind of right into the news. Okay, so let's see how the charts are looking. We were talking earlier today about this Delicium. So Delicium, if you guys remember, we talked about this during the AI craze, way before actually the AI craze, before people were even talking about AI agents at all. I got the receipts. I'd probably have to go way back, but we were talking about this coin AGI for it being one of the first to introduce the concept of the crypto AI agent and having it kind of do everything you want to by just giving it a command. And I wonder if they're continuing to still build this thing out, but this I noticed was one of the coins that during those, pumpy times of AI, we had this section here, then we had going into the bear market. This is on the daily chart, but then if you remember, kind of had some little pre-altcoin season in March, for January, February, March 2024 last year. And this coin did really well. It did really well. And it managed to kind of hold up pretty strong, even though when it pumped at all-time highs and then it consolidated in this channel, it didn't dump too hard, but it kind of just went sideways, and then it tried to test back up. And then this was everyone, all alts went into the ground. And so then from then on, it's been going sideways. And no one's really been paying attention too much to crypto AI. That kind of took a back seat. We went back to utility tokens and DeFi tokens. And so this is what is potentially happening, is possibly people are front running what they think could be another surge in AI, right? That's kind of what this looks like. And potentially you can maybe even see that as like as whatever kind of pattern you want to see it, just testing previous resistance and support, especially right here. Like if you're looking at this coin right here, holy moly, that is sitting at a rocket ship of support right here. And look at the MACD, what happened last time, and when it crossed and it went flying, this thing went up like 1,000%. Yeah, didn't it? Yeah, it went up like 1,000%. Went up like almost, yeah, it went up 1,000%. It went up 1,000%. It's sitting at the same freaking level. It's sitting up the same exact level of support. And so, I mean, I'm probably going to buy some of this coin. I'm not going to lie. Like, I mean, this is probably, because this was always, in my opinion, if I was going to buy an AI coin, I was just like, okay, this was the first one I found that was doing all that stuff before it was cool, before everyone started talking about it. And so that's why I was like, all right, I'm going to pick this one as the one. If I'm going to talk about an AI coin, I'm just going to keep it simple, narrow it down, just be like, all right, AGI. So I'm happy to see that it's actually doing well. But look at the freaking MACD, though. Look at this. It crossed right there. Super, super, super bullish. And yeah, I'm really liking this chart. I'm glad I kept this still on the radar, because now that it's actually still at a really good buying opportunity, a good level at 5 cents, and this thing went up as almost as high as 71 cents. It's looking really good. Then we got Render. So Render has a lot to do with the GPUs and the AI kind of ecosystem as well. I don't really know too much about it, only besides the fact that, it was trading pretty well during those little altcoin pumps, and it's held up kind of strong. It hasn't dumped. It didn't dump all the way back into, bear market lows of 2023, but it's just kind of went sideways. It's just kind of holding. So that's okay. So that's good. ENA doing this really nice W pattern, accumulation. And if you're looking at this in terms of accumulation and also in the MACD, we got a bullish MACD cross here. RSI looks good. Volume's kind of cooled off, but the ENA if you are familiar with ENA, they are minting stablecoin, and it's called USDE. It's native now on Tron, or sorry, not Tron, Ton, and it's also native on Ethereum and I can't remember where else. But it's getting up there in terms of the market cap, the stablecoin, that is, and in competition with USDC and USDT. So if we look at USDE, and they're offering a bunch of yield, like if you go into the Ton wallet, you can actually earn yield with the USDE. So right now, if you look, see you got Athena in the number 26 spot at a $5.5 billion market cap at 80 cents, okay? And then you have its stable coin right above it here at the number 13th spot at a $12.8 billion. And so let's see what chains you can hold this thing on. You can hold it. Okay. Oh, the bunch of chains. Okay. So look, you can hold it on Ethereum, BNB, Optimism, Arbitrum, Kava. If you guys remember Kava, Metis. We like Metis. Mantle, Linnea, Manta, Scroll, and Base. So yeah, you can hold this. They got this thing all over the place. But what's interesting is that they're supposed to also have the Ton address too, because we saw in the Ton wallet, the Telegram wallet, that you can stake USDE and earn like 15 or 20% or something like that. I was like, usually I'm skeptical with the high yield stuff, you know, because it reminds me of, it eerily reminds me of Terra Luna. Because if you guys remember, and if you're not familiar with this, if you're new to crypto and you don't remember any of these crypto crashes, you know, we all have PTSD from all this stuff. You know, there was a blockchain called Terra Luna and had a token called Luna. It was the Luna blockchain, and it also had a stable coin called UST. And in with this blockchain, in the wallet, in the Terra Station wallet, there was all these different there was staking, you could do these pairs, you could do staking pairs or pools and farms and stuff like that. But the big thing was that you could stake your UST and earn this crazy yield. I think it was like, at a point, I think it was like 25 or 30% or something like that. Just outrageous. And the same thing was with Luna. You were supposed to be able to also have this 1-to-1 ratio backing of Luna with UST, and there was some kind of mechanism, algorithmic mechanism, but whatever the case is, it all crashed. It crashed. And the stablecoin depegged. And because of the depegging and how it was tied liquidity-wise with the Luna token, it also subsequently crashed Luna. And it went to zero. So when I think about a coin and then it has a stable coin, I just want to always keep that in the back of my mind, because everyone was like Team Luna. They thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. We had Cryptosaurus George talking about it. He was super bullish Luna, thought it was going to be the best thing. We had Crypto Man Ran, Crypto Banter, you know, all in on Luna. I was even swallowing the pill and drinking the Kool-Aid at a point, because I was already buying Luna and was kind of getting bullish on it. But then I started to think, I was about to go in. I was like, this yield just sounds too juicy. It was like everyone was kind of getting greedy, you know, and it ended bad. So we just got to really make sure that if we're going to pick a stable coin that we're going to put our money into, you probably don't want to put all of it in there. You probably want to split it up. Like you might want to have like maybe a little USDE, maybe you want to have a little USDC, maybe USDT. You're probably going to want to have dry powder of whatever the most high liquid stable coins are, for the fact that You just don't know what the heck is going to happen. We just don't know. You have no freaking idea. And that's kind of going back and connecting all this to the original breaking news of the crypto hack in terms of the MPN JavaScript enabling in connecting your wallets and all this stuff. So it's just, you kind of just have to be completely diversified in every aspect of crypto, like have multiple wallets set up. Don't have everything all in one wallet, you know? You might not want to, I mean, you could be a Bitcoin maxi and have every single freaking thing into Bitcoin, but I mean, that wouldn't be too fun. I mean, that's, you know, altcoins basically are for people that are wanting to have a little bit more fun and are bored. That's what the altcoins are for. But, you know, we make that joke, but really, you know, it is the bleeding edge of tech and the new things that are going to be used by, you know, the entire world. So no need to fear, my friends. There's no need to fear. Well, I hope everything sounds good. No one's complained yet about my microphone. I swear my wife is probably going to be like, if you keep talking about this freaking microphone, I'm going to go crazy. But I just don't know if I like it yet. I still don't know if I like it. This is the HyperX Quadcast 2. This is the HyperX Quadcast 2. You can change colors on it too. Let's see. Let me see. I want to see if how the colors actually look on. Let's see. Light sync, microphone, lights. Whoa, that looks crazy. See, I can't have the light on because, oh, I can have it like really low. And then it doesn't look super weird. That's kind of cool. I think I can do that. But yeah, I end up just turning it off. Just turn off the lights completely. All right, guys. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Dano Crypto. Really appreciate you coming in. If you're just coming in, we were covering the major crypto hack that happened. Basically, long story short, we just have to be diligent. Don't click on any links. Don't connect to a bunch of crap. Just keep it simple. Keep it super simple. And and honestly, this is why, people have asked me, like, why do you, like, I remember when I was talking about Pulse Chain and Richard Hart and all that on some live streams, like about a year ago, maybe even longer. And they're like, why do you like Richard Hart? Or why are you even trying to even getting into Pulse Chain? And they were like saying, oh, Hex is a scam, blah, blah, blah. Usually when people say things that are a scam, they probably just didn't sell. And they were probably like left like holding a bunch of supply or whatever it may be. Or they bought the top. That's usually when people say, oh, it's a scam. They bought the top. But I think the reason why I respect Pulse Chain is that what it does and what it did for me is it encouraged me to use blockchain. It just encouraged me to be like, okay, well, there's like, I didn't participate in the sacrifice. I didn't go that far. I didn't sacrifice anything. I just like, I had bought some Hex because I heard, I started hearing about the ecosystem. So and watching Ivan on Tech, obviously you end up hearing about Hex. And then I started learning about Pulse Chain and how that was going to be, it was going to be launching. It's going to be a huge thing. But what it did is it, had me actually like bridge over coins and test out using like a bridge of that nature going into a new chain, and then also providing liquidity, using the pairs, pairing and learning through that PLSX dashboard, doing that and earning that incentive token. And so, and then learning like, okay, well, there's a multi-token ecosystem. Okay. So, but it made me just learn, and I think that's always Richard Hart's mission and maybe like now his life's purpose, because like he's already made the money. I mean, he's rich, in terms of like wealth, like he's good. So what does a person do after, they've made all the money and they can do whatever, you can essentially do whatever they want in terms of what you can, do with the money. You probably want to leave some kind of like lasting legacy. You want to teach people, you want to help people learn. In this case, Richard Hart really loves crypto and he loves blockchain. So he wants to probably continue to teach people. But I think the best thing that he can do probably now, and Ivan on Tech said this recently, and a lot of people agree, especially the people that are like hexagons or Richard Hart maxis, or, just people that are interested in this ecosystem, the boards and stuff, the boogie boards, the whole marketing aspect, this whole thing, people think it's a gimmick, I don't think it's a gimmick. But he's going to need to stream. He knows that the most powerful thing right now is just it's content. It's content, and people feeling like they're learning something and they're being taught, or they're getting to be a part of some type of community, a crew. Like right here, we got the Dojo crew. You guys, if you're in here right now watching this stream, you are part of the Dojo crew. And that's how it is. And so, which includes Sprotos, it includes people from other channels, people, that are just interested in crypto, people that are that have crypto channels themselves. And so I think what Richard Hart needs to do is he really does need to kind of go back to the roots. He needs to go back streaming. He needs to start making short form content. And if he really does want to start teaching people, he's got to do it not through cryptic ways, Like I get it, like, oh, be the cryptic person with the messages to the people and see if they can figure it out. And it's like, no, at the end of the day, we just need people that do have this type of knowledge, and they need to be streaming, and it needs to be available for people to consume. And so I would say to you, Richard Hart, you just need to live stream again. And you need to bring on people like me. You need to bring on people like Sami. You need to bring on people that have had your back and have been talking and promoting your coins and stuff like that, like while getting made fun of for years. You need to bring those people on your channel. You need to tell them thank you for being the most like made fun of community, but next to Cardano in crypto history is the Cardano people and the pulsegons, the hexagons. With the they get beat down bad. They really do. It's not good. But yeah, it's people get really, it's like you say certain people's names and it's like saying Voldemort. Like if you say Trump or Richard Hart or, any of those names, like people are like, do not Don't you dare not. All right. We're going to continue to look at some of these alts. Let's see what else is. Let's see what else. Yeah, we talked about Zeus, that the Zeus is another one that's in these super lows. And whenever we were just cranking in that Trump pump, this thing was pushing $1. And right now it's at 13 cents. I mean, that is just cheap. Zeus is the Bitcoin DeFi on Solana. So if you are bullish Bitcoin and you're bullish Solana and you're bullish Bitcoin DeFi, then Zeus is something you might want to look into. If you're bullish layer ones and OG ERC20 tokens and also bullish on data, AI, geolocation stuff, what companies might end up using just primarily for, verifying all types of stuff, being able to know where their items are, just things like that. XYO is where it's at. And I think this thing is kind of just a steady growth. It's a slow build, Maybe it might have a violent pump, but more so for me, I think this is more of a kind of a slow build. It's a slow channel build. So you have to be in it for the long haul, And it's kind of like XRP, The XRP was a long haul for the XRP. I mean, look. I mean, the XRP army had to long haul it, That was a long haul from 2022. Or sorry, I mean, got longer than that. Jeez. That was if you go into the monthly with XRP, it's the longest freaking consolidation in the history of anything. But congratulations to any of the any of the people that held that XRP through all of that. I mean, there's something interesting. I just don't want XRP to end up being like the exit liquidity, like the retail comes in and they believe it so much, but then they're just like, wait, I bought the freaking top, but who knows? I mean, the XRP army could be strong enough. Like I said, that, to pull it up to that $5 level and get some action here. If we're looking at the weekly, we're in a bull flag breakout. That is true. Bull flag breakout. And the target is $4.76. What's going on, Headband? We're drinking cold decaf coffee. It's terrible. It's way better hot. It's way better hot. Of course, when I start talking about XRP, Headband comes in, has to remind me that he was telling me to buy XRP at whatever sense. All right, so here's the one of the tokens for the Solana ecosystem. For all you Solana people out there, if you want to know something that could literally give you a 10, 15, 20x, you need to be looking at the dexes and the Solana dexes. You got Orca, you have Radium, you have Jupiter. Okay, so kind of like the main ones. And the launch, there's launch pads all inside these. This is where I think a lot of the multiples are gonna come from, and this is where DCAing comes into play, because you think like, look, you're just steady accumulating on your Solana narrative. So like I'm just going off Solana. So previously we were just talking about ETH. So you think, okay, ETH narrative. Look, I'm gonna get some ETH. I'm gonna hold the ETH strong ETH meme coins, and then also, for instance, that things that are tied into the kind of the ETH ecosystem in terms of trading volume and tokens, like we talked about the XYO. So that's connected, and then ETH DeFi, like Aave, Uniswap, Compound, stuff like that. But then now we're pulling it into the Solana ecosystem. We talked about Zeus, that's the Bitcoin DeFi on Solana. Then the DEXs, Orca, Radium, Jupiter. I mean, there's such an easy portfolio, and you don't have to make it so complicated and think like, oh, I gotta be in the trench and try and find the. It's just like you could really make it that easy where you're just DCAing Sol and you're DCAing Orca, and that's my plan. It's like we're still at really, really great levels before, and we're not even close. Like we're not even close to even the prices that we were at in the pumpage that was happening in the Trump pump, Trump presidency, Trump inauguration. November, December, January. At least in terms of the altcoins. Bitcoin is a different story coming out of that destruction for the alts, But it looks so good. It looks so good, guys. It really does. It really does. And I think ETH really is on its way to be pushing that 1618. We just were going for the past couple weeks. We from bottoming out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Then we cooled off for 1 week, and then we did 1, 2, 3 weeks, green weeks, and then we did 1, 2, 3 red weeks, consolidating from that all-time high. And I mean, we either consolidate back down here, which I don't see that. I just don't see that happen. I see a pinch. I think we're gonna see a pinch up, consolidate, pinch, and it's just gonna be, we're gonna be getting real close up to that trend line. This is the mega trend line. This is ETH's time to shine right here. This is really ETH's time to shine, to really prove that it has grown. So we're excited. We're excited. You just got to be bullish crypto. That was the whole point of the live stream, or the live streams in general, is to just get you guys to not be so focused on trying to like watch content or watch people just so you can figure out like the next token or what they're buying or what they're blah blah blah. It's like, that is not the way to go. I don't even like, when I'm watching other people, I'm like, I don't care what they're buying. That's really, at this point, not the freaking point. You just need to just exactly what I just did, what I'm doing, and what I do on the live streams when I go from coin to coin to coin, and go from the native token, and then go into each bullish narrative that I've done the research, looked on the timeline, see where that money's flowing, and also pulling in where analysts, where they look at this stuff freaking 24 hours a day, pulling a little bit of that in, and then just figuring out, okay, then figure out what you want to buy at that point. And it could be something completely, different, but at least maybe could be somewhat similar into the narrative of what I'm explaining here. Like, for instance, like Solana and the Bitcoin narrative with the Zeus protocol. Maybe there's some other Solana thing that's doing Bitcoin and I just don't know about it. But this is the one that I know about. And the thing with, same thing with Naka. Like I'm bullish Naka and crypto gaming. Like I've followed a bunch of different, crypto gaming dashboards. This is the one that I've just personally used the most and have tested. I like the name. I like the branding. And yeah, that's why I like it. But you could be looking at something completely different. You could be bullish Vulcan Forge because you really like their gaming dashboard and what they're involved in. And speaking of that, let me see how many people we got watching now. Let me see how many people. Okay, so now that we got a nice little group, we got a nice little posse. I'm going to test this Nakamoto Games Playroom, and if you guys want to join me, we can get a little LAN going on, get a little LAN party going. So let me see if I can connect to this thing with my. I want to connect to it with my Brave wallet because I'm not going to connect to any freaking thing with any main wallets that I would normally be using. Nakamoto Games. All right. So where are these playrooms? Okay, can we use the Brave? Give me just a second, guys. Oh, I can play as a guest though. Let's see how that works. Oh, I can. I haven't been on this in just a little bit, so I'm trying to navigate. Let's see, ecosystems, Naka wallet, Naka bot, mobile Naka app. Okay, mobile games. Where's the playroom? Oh, there it is. Okay, playroom. Okay. Looks like no rooms have been created yet. Oh, let's go. Okay, so guys, go to nakamoto.games//play-room. Okay. I'm actually going to just copy this and then we're going to test this out. We're going to test this out together. All right. So we're going to create a room and, oh wait, welcome, please log in to get full access. Oh, I am going to have to log in. Did I? I might have made, let's see. Oh, okay, cool. All right. All right, so now I'm logged in, and let me see if I can create a room. But I don't want it to do like a blockchain transaction. Let's see, max players, we can do 8. And let's see, game mode, play to earn, we'll just do free to play. And let's see, oh, we can select the game. Night Warrior, okay, Naka Strike. All right, we're gonna try this one. Okay, game time. Okay, end time. The 9th. We're gonna make it public. Room name, Dano Dojo. Okay. So I made this. All right. So I created this room. So this is cool. So you can create these play rooms, and then you select, you go in, you select the game, select how many players you want to get into. Let me know if any of you guys are actually, if you're on your computer and you can test this out with me. All right, so we're gonna join this. Yeah, so this is what it looks like, and this is Nakamoto Games kind of play on Counter-Strike. That's called Naka-Strike. So you got the chat in here. Yo. All right, who's still with me? All right, so whoever's still with me, you got to go through Nakamoto Games, connect however you're going to connect, create an account, and you're going to go to Games and then Playroom, and then you will see my room, and it says Dojo. Okay, let's see. All right, let's test it. Let's see if the game will work. Oh, it's like a little. Oh, they've updated the website a little bit. Yeah, they definitely added some new stuff. Let me know, guys. Like, what is something like because like crypto gaming has had its it's had its rough patches. You know, it's had its ups and downs, and I think a lot of people lost hope. And I wonder what you guys have kept on your radar still, what you're interested in, and what you think can come back. I'm very curious. Because even the fact that I think I started to even mention that I was about to start playing a crypto game, I had 15 people in here, 16 people, and they all just like ran for the hills. They're like, oh my God, crypto gaming. We're going to test it out anyway, so. Hopefully it's not loud as all get out. This last time we played this was like super loud. Yes, it is very loud. Jesus. Forgot this one's weird because it has like it doesn't already like it has you in a walk and then you have to hit shift for the run. So it's a little awkward. Oh my gosh, terrible. So to get used to the feel of this, because it's a little weird, I will say. But I need one of you guys in here to test it with me. Man, the shotgun keeps hitting me. Now, if I don't get this guy, then I'm terrible. Okay. Shotgun's powerful. That's always what I went for with any first-person shooter I was playing online. It's usually the gun of choice. What do you guys think about this? Think it's just like a really bad version of Counter-Strike? or would you play this? See, my only gripe with this is like I don't mind it. It's not bad, but they haven't added any new maps. It's just been this map. Dang. So yeah, that's basically how this game is. Pretty similar to Counter-Strike. At 4 kills, 10 deaths. My score was 400. All right, let's go to the lobby. All right, so it's trying to get me back into the lobby. Hopefully it works. Okay, cool. And yeah, so at the end of the game, you'll see your score. And what's interesting about this particular gaming ecosystem is like if you actually do the play to earn and you win enough and you're using the Naka token as your like kind of token to play the game, kind of like an arcade, you're going to be earning Naka token for participating in the ecosystem like that. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's just one game. But there's a bunch on here that we could test out. But I don't know if we're gonna keep doing that for the rest of the stream. But that's just to kind of give you an idea of how that particular one works. I don't think there's anything else that I'd like to show you guys. Like, that was some of the stuff that I wanted to show you. Wanted to mention about the hack, you know, just like that, and then also just a couple different things that we had bookmarked. We wanted to talk about the whole Richard Hart thing, the pulse chain idea, show you the altcoins, and we'll go right back through the bookmarks to make sure we didn't miss anything. Oh yeah, we saw this, and we were curious what you guys would pick. What's the first game you're playing? If you had to choose one out of all of those games, which one would you pick? I mean, Super Mario 64 was definitely one of the. I mean, to say this is definitely one of the greatest games of all time. I mean, it you know, greatest 3D platformer, just really, really good. But then also GoldenEye brings back so much nostalgia of, you know, four players, you know, split screen with your friends. And then the same with, you know, Super Smash. That one definitely brings back memories. We used to have Super Smash Brothers competitions, tournaments, and if you lost, you had to walk outside. It was brutal. It was like cutthroat. But I was never into any of the Mario parties. I didn't get too much into Mario parties, but I did play Shadows of the Empire. That was a gem right there. I did play a little bit of Donkey Kong 64, and I remember it was actually one of the first. If you remember, it was the first game, I believe, that debuted that you needed the expansion pack. Like, you needed the expansion to be able to play it. Because it added more, I don't know, it added more like virtual, and it added more RAM or something. I think it was basically just a gimmick, you know. But no, I think it added a little bit more RAM, a little bit more video memory to be able to handle whatever needed to be rendered in the game. But Star Fox, though, was also awesome too. Star Fox was great. A lot of these were, you know, the aspect of it was like the two-player aspect. Like, it was games you were actually like playing with your friends and really enjoying them. Was GoldenEye, Star Fox, the Mario parties, any of the racing games. But like, for instance, like, you know, like there's like 1080. I did play a little bit of Wave Race. I remember that one, but 1080 was the one that I was really, in terms of the 64. And then Smash, like, and then of course, can't forget Mario Kart. But yeah, that popped up on the feed, and I was like, man, I still have my 64. Got a whole retro area. But people saying higher, make everything go higher. Since we just pulled up Beeple, we're actually going to do Banksy. That's the one. Yeah, check it out. It's pretty cool. They're trying to censor it. They already censored it. This popped up, this Banksy, which appeared overnight on the side of the Royal Courts of Justice building in London, is extremely powerful. Look at this. It's pretty wild. Elon Musk was like, accurate. And look, well, 1 hour after the new Banksy was revealed that was mocking the courts for censoring people, the court censored it by covering it up. They're like, all right, we're going to have to censor this. Censor you, censor everything. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. All right, we got the Sprotos in the house. Ooh. That profile picture. It's insane. All right, let's see what else. Anything else? Let's see. This was earlier today. I think we meant to pull this up, but all right. So yeah, this is a quick take on the markets for today. See, Trump Media closed a purchase agreement with Crypto.com to acquire 684 million tokens in a 50% stock and 50% cash exchange. So another purchase. Crypto.com partnered with Axelar Foundation and Frax for institutional custody services. So that's cool. Axelar. They believe they have a token. ETH reserves on centralized exchanges fell to a 3-year low. So we've been talking about that for a long time. We haven't mentioned it over the past couple of weeks, but we were heavily talking about how Bitcoin and ETH are going to eventually experience a supply shock in terms of what the balance of exchanges, like what exchanges are actually holding. And people buying ETH and Bitcoin and actually holding it in their own wallet changes, like what exchanges are actually and Bitcoin and it's not having on exchanges, which inevitably will, make price go up. U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs had a net inflow, 124 million the past 5 days trading days compared to 441 million the week before. Spot ETH ETF saw a net outflow in the same period compared to a net inflow, 1.1 billion the week before. So when we talked about that, we had, over $1 billion inflowing into ETH, which ultimately led to its price appreciation. Notable updates: Ondo Finance launched Ondo Global Markets on Ethereum, hinting that, why would you be bearish on Ethereum? Notable events in the coming week is U.S. Consumer Price Index, Producer Price Index, Food and Energy, and ECB interest rate decision. Yeah, that's in 9 days. We have the interest rates either going to get cut 25 basis points or 50. Who freaking knows? Could do 50 basis points, but all we need to know is that rates are getting cut multiple times this year, and we need to be looking into next year. Again, emphasizing again on the fact that we need to be macro and we need to just be still accumulating assets. It's the only way you're going to survive. You just got to accumulate assets, not ask too many damn questions. Be curious, know your narrative, know your stuff, but at a point where you're just asking questions into not even making any action at all, it's annoying. And a lot of the times people will talk themselves and ask questions out of and just completely not even start the thing, or even try to start investing, or even attempt to even lose a little money, test it out a little bit. It's the same thing when people want to start a crypto channel, or they want to start a channel or a content channel or a podcast or whatever it is, and then they go out and ask everyone if they should do it, and it's just like, no. Because I always say, yeah, do it. I mean, what? Perfect example. It's like I gave the story earlier today on the live stream where I had a whole room of people laugh at me because I mentioned Bitcoin. And That's not going to stop me. It's not going to. So what did I go home that night and be like, well, you know, I guess I should just hang it up. You know, this crypto thing. I think I should just hang it up. All those people laughed at me, you know, they probably should just give up. But no, if I let that discourage me, not into you know, let that get me down or make me feel like I'm stupid or something like that, that would be a damn shame. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that you could go out there and ask everyone if you should do a podcast or if you should start that business or whatever. Start working on that idea, actually making the steps, working on the steps towards doing that thing. And you went out and asked everyone if you should do it, and they all said no. Still do it. I want you to still do it. Now, obviously, this is freaking situational. You know, if you're going to do something really ridiculous and like actually extremely dangerous and risky, then you probably shouldn't just disappear and go do that thing and not tell anyone that you're going to go do that thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in the context of like you procrastinating and talking yourself out of starting something. Like a business or an investment journey, or the quote podcast you've been wanting to do. All right, my friends. I think that's about it for what we're gonna blab about tonight. This is kind of an impromptu live stream, and we do appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for tuning in. All the people that are watching on X, all the people that are watching on YouTube, we really appreciate you. There was no one. I don't think there was anyone tuning in. We still pump this thing out to Facebook and Twitch and Rumble. You never know. I mean, we might catch a Rumble algorithm and be the #1 crypto streamer on Rumble. I mean, it's possible. And then look at how bullish, Rumble is on crypto. This is why you have to just pump that sucker out. But it is interesting though. YouTube still is kind of king. It's like if you can crack the YouTube code, if you can crack the YouTube algorithm, there's something about it. There's something about it. Because if you can really crack it, and YouTube will reward you, they put you out there, and it's something interesting can happen. Something interesting can happen. A small channel can all of a sudden become a big channel real fast. But anyways, we hope you guys have a good night. And we'll see you tomorrow. It's funny, we didn't even look at Bitcoin like a single time on this live stream. we just looked at alts. Sorry, Bitcoin.